Hello friends, welcome to part 4 of Thuja. Here we'll go little deeper and we will touch the core of Thuja. Now we will understand here that what is happening exactly with the mind of this patient who is just going into bits and pieces because of this conflict which is troubling him, which is, conflict is a source of deterioration. It is a source of any kind of disease in the body. So there has to be a harmony if we have to function in the healthy manner. But in Thuja, there is lack of harmony. There is a disharmony. There is a fragmentation. Now we human beings, we are composed of body, mind and soul. But the problem in Thuja comes that he feels that body, mind and soul means what? Body has its own way of functioning. We should not interfere with it. We should not become overconscious with it. It has its own intelligence and just let it function in its own way. If we control too much, if we let go of it too much, then the mind has its own way of intellectualizing. The mind has its own way of understanding, maintaining the sanity. Okay, there has to be a balance in everything. Now let the body function. Why are you intellectualizing in it? Why are you interfering in it? And in mind, at the level of mind, why are we too much getting involved with intricacies of things? If the flower is blooming, let it bloom. You enjoy the fragrance. You enjoy the beauty of the flower. You go inside. Why is the flower blooming? What color is it? Exactly which color it is. That you lose the moment. You lose that beauty. You lose the charm. So, body, mind and soul. Soul has its own purity. And when we do a purpose, when we do an action which by which we expect some kind of outcome or some kind of result, then that action is also not with purity. You are not putting your soul into that action. When you put your soul into an action, you do not think of the outcomes. Like suppose I launched this book, okay, my first book as an author. Now when I started writing the book, I never thought of that what will be the cost of the book, or how much am I going to earn with it. I started writing the book with the sole purpose of spreading the word of my master. It was just with heart full for homeopathy, soul which really wants to make Sir's name reach to every corner of this world, and that's the only desire. I started writing and I continue to write only with that purpose. On the last day when I launched the book also, I had not mentioned the price of the book. And the printer is asking me, Madam, delivery, I was behind the printer in fact, ki, by delivery, when will you deliver my books? It's been a week. So it was 1 week and he was about to deliver in 2 days. And then he's telling me, Madam, you have written the price of the book, right? I just want to confirm because I can't see on the cover page. And I was like, oh, I have not mentioned the price of the book, because price was something which was not on my mind. And the only intention, the motto was something which was very pure, which was not mixed with any other feelings than just my love for HHF, for my master and homeopathy. Nothing else was there. And when you do something with that passion, when you do something with that purity, then the outcome that comes out, it not only satisfies you, but it keeps you in balance. It keeps you in harmony. You don't go into any conflict. But if you do it with some intention, if you do with a motto, then I think you lose the track. And that is what happens over here. There is delusion, body, mind and soul. Everything is separated. Body and mind are separated. Body separated from soul. Now what is happening in this? Like in the previous video we saw, there is a to and fro movement, delusion. He moves to and fro, seat moves to and fro. Now what is this to and fro? To and fro is again from center to periphery, periphery to center. Now what are we doing in this kind of living where you are just moving from center to periphery? You are actually creating limitations for yourself. Your center is your own self. That is, he lives for himself, that kind of selfishness. And then up to the periphery, there is again a boundary, there is again a limitation. If you are not free in doing something, if you are not feeling liberated, then how are you going to attain higher goals in your life, wherever you want to reach higher in life? So reaching higher for such people will become a task, and that is why Thuja is in delusion, war at being. Because what happens in this, he is just creating boundaries for himself. And this war inside, war is what? When a country is fighting with different countries at all levels, using all kind of weaponries, and there is destruction and there is violence, and using like armed forces there, pilots are also involved, and navy is also involved, and everything you are giving in to fight out yourself. So delusion, war at being in Thuja is at this level where he is using everything in his thoughts, where he is, there was a case, just to simplify things, the first understanding of Thuja I got from my master, and we were in a Thursday session. I was in college at that time, and there was a case discussion going on in the hall. And there was a girl who was so conscious of her weight gain, that she narrated in the entire case that I gained 54 kgs. I gained 1 kg when I did not do exercise or something, because I was in college, so I don't remember exactly, but I will tell you what I meant, what Thuja means in this. So I gained 1 kg by not doing a particular exercise. Then I worked on my diet. Then the weight just dropped to 54.5. Then I understood that this kind of diet is only going to reduce by half kg. So I went on that diet and reduced and started my exercise in this pattern. Then it came down to 53.5. Now I want to maintain it at 54. And the whole case, she was only talking about her weight, which was not something, a significant change in her weight. Somewhere between 55 to 53, it kept on fluctuating. And in the whole case, she kept on talking about it. And sir questioned us that what is she talking about? What is important for her? So I told sir, she's just talking about little things which are very insignificant. Like if you ask for a female, 1 or 2 kgs is normal, because of our menstruation and the cycle, we naturally have a weight gain of 1 or 2 kgs and then we lose. So why is she so much concerned about it? He told, yes, this is very precise what you have told, that it is a trifle thing. Now what is she doing with this trifle? She is, then everyone was, sir used to ask us to wear our thinking caps, that you have to put on your thinking cap and think that what is she doing with this kind of talk. So then I thought over and I told that, sir, whatever she's doing, she is feeling that she has done something wrong. And that time I did not know Thuja at all, please. I did not know what is wrong and right. But I just thought that whatever she is feeling, she feels that I shouldn't have taken this step because of doing this, my weight has gone little higher. And because of not doing this, it has gone little more higher. And she's becoming too conscientious about it. And that is what he loved something too much about this word conscientious. And he told, yes, this is conscientious about trifles. that she wants to do something very, very minutely, very, very accurately, and by not doing it, she feels the guilt, and then she's again, and then she will take every little step to perform it that minutely. This is to and fro. From yourself, you go to a limited boundary that I have to eat this, I have to not eat this, I have to do this much exercise, I have not to do this much exercise. And this is the war of Thuja, which constant calculation going on, constant judgments going on, that judgmental attitude towards self, towards others, towards everything. And then because of this constant kind of war situation inside, they come to demarcate boundaries for themselves, that I have to perform this act in this way, in this way, and this way. Nothing more and nothing less. And when it becomes too much, it goes to the level of fanaticism. Fanaticism also keeps boundaries. Fanaticism, although there is a passion in doing it, but that passion with a limitation, where you do not accept anything, where you feel what you have done, this is only the right thing and this is what I have to follow, where acceptance has no space. And by doing this, they avoid themselves, or they devoid themselves of the pleasures of life, and this continuously drains them, and they feel that legs are made of glass, body is brittle, because they cannot handle any little disturbances inside them. Delusion, body thin is, delusion diminished, thin he is. Now this constant workout, this is exhausting, this diminishes his own powers. So center to periphery, what is happening? Center is losing its own power, that I can flourish so well, but I am not allowed to. So that is diminishing. Diminishing is something which is going down gradually, and diminished is you have just gone down, and thin he is. So in Thuja, the rubric becomes diminished as well as thin. Thin is something so thin, fragile, that can break easily, that can just give way easily, that cannot sustain any kind of pressure, no kind of, So now I will just conclude with one narration of Sir's case, where he was sitting in his chamber. There was a glass partition through which he could see that who is walking inside the clinic now. So through that glass partition, he saw a lady, a family basically. They had just called up that, sir, we have reached your clinic, and they didn't know that he is seeing through. And we have reached your clinic and we have come for our daughter. And the problem of this daughter was something which they did not mention on the phone, but they told that we have come for our daughter. So he asked them to walk inside. Okay, when they walked inside, they told that our daughter is not gaining weight, and that girl was really very, very thin. She was short statured, and they told that she's not gaining weight, she's not gaining height. He immediately prescribed Thuja to that girl. So I was shocked. I was like, sir, just on physical structure you gave Thuja? So he told that, Pallavi, whatever you think, your body reflects. Now if she is so thin, then that is how it has, the body has imbibed this feeling that she is thin, and that is why she's not gaining weight, and she's not the height is not scaling up. So I was like, sir, you think that she is already postmenopausal, 20 years old girl, and she's so small and thin. Postmenopausal, she will gain height. He said that by giving the homeopathic similimum, the feeling inside will go. Now, because of some problem, her parents thought that she needs medicine. But if she corrects her thought process, if this imbalance goes, that conflict goes from her head, she will behave differently, by which her parents will feel that she doesn't need any medicines. So if a person is given medicine for not putting on weight or for increasing the height, it is not necessary that height will increase, but the feeling inside that I am thin or I am poor, that feeling will go, and you will live in a more harmonious, in a happier way. So this is how the conflict of Thuja is. And that is why he cannot tolerate contradiction, anger trifles. And we'll just see further ahead in the next video how it goes. Thank you so much. Do like, comment and subscribe. Bye bye.